Hello, hello. Oh, baby! Thank you! And I beat Frank.
Oh my god!
Beat Frank.
He comes up like a mic. Oh my god!
Hit that shit, bitch!
Oh, and she comes with glasses, accessories sold separately.
I do. I just don't ever wear them, which is why I'm going blind.
It happens. I've gone blind once, and I had
happens.
LASIK to fix that.
Right.
Mm.
And then
They went bad. My eyes went bad again. So
yeah, cool.
I
am-
have had like prescription glasses that I've needed to wear since. Okay, I don't know what America is like. So grade 2 for me was
Me too.
8 years old. Was when I
Yeah, me
first got my first pair of glasses. I only actually started wearing them properly when I was like 17.
Oh, that's terrible. No, I wore my. I always wore mine, but I would always break them because I was a little boy. Anyway, now that we've begun, let's go ahead and intro ourselves. This is, ladies and gentlemen, the Completely Inappropriate Podcast. I am your main host, Tony, along with the side host, the little bitch boy over there. What's his name?
Oh, I don't know, some guy.
It's got to be you. What's your
Oh,
name,
you mean
Frank?
me?
Oh, Frank.
Oh, Frank.
Don't worry about it. That's the last time we'll hear from Frank for the rest of the episode. If any of you have ever listened to this, remember you can find us at completelyinappropriatepodcast@gmail.com with any comments, questions, concerns. If you just want to bitch at us, feel free to do that too. Remember, you can find us at Completely Inap on Twitter with 1P, CI Podcast on Instagram, and wherever you find us, you found us. And if you found us, you find us. So good for you. Good job. You've you earned your cookie. Now, don't forget to leave us 5 stars because those are the only stars that count. Anything less doesn't work. Don't even try and click on them. Never fucking happens. Trust us. We don't lie to you. We love you. Just return the love. So, Frank, how you doing, man? Doesn't matter. I said that was the last time we were going to hear from you. So today, in case you didn't hear it in the beautiful voice of our guest today, we have a lovely lady from South Africa, of all fucking places. How the hell this happened, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll explain it. But so
you gave me
how-
money and then asked me to come on your podcast. That's how this happened. You gave me money because I have corona and I'm broke. That's literally how this
so-
happened. I'm broke and
I'm
I'm
happy
sad.
you. And you're sad. Oh,
I'm old.
don't be sad. You're
I'm
always
broke.
sad.
I'm gonna be
Well,
sad. I'm always sad.
Well, look, you're 19. It's kind of inherent to the age. Before you're like late 20s and shit starts calming down in the brain there. That's science,
No,
bitches, because we're a science podcast, in case you forgot. We are experts. So, real quick, what is your name? You want to let people know what the hell to call you?
My name is Ariella, which is not going to be easy, so you can just call me Ari, A-R-I, if that's going to be easy.
Well, we're Hispanic, so we've known people Ariela,
yeah, that
Ariel.
That one.
Yeah, we know how to say weird names. My name, for instance, is Antonio Roberto Garza,
Nice.
but Tony's a lot easier to say for
Yeah,
most
Tony's a
people.
lot easier to say because white people are cowards.
Are you?
Yeah,
You're the whitest person in this conversation.
Shut up. That's abuse, and I don't take abuse very well.
How is that abuse?
Yes,
It's
white-
a fact. I am tan and brown. So is he, because we are Hispanic. You are about as white as can be. Red hair, white skin. Why is this abuse to you?
Because I said so. No, it's also here. It's a common thing with African cultures, specifically the Xhosa and the Zulu people. They take their given names and then they give it an English like version because people like English people can't say it properly. So one of the guys at work, his given name is Nkosi Kona, but everyone calls him Vincent because it's easier to say. And I'm just like, that's rude. Just say your real
Right.
name.
Well, sure. It's the same thing with the Asian community in the United States. A lot of them will come and they're like Cao Pang or whatever. And I'm not being racist. That's literally the type of name that they would have. And then they
Yeah.
come here and they change their name to Keith. or Kevin.
Yeah, it's also common with us, Mexicans, because like if they have a really Mexican name, they'll whitenize it. Like I knew this guy whose name was Hildi, and since it was so difficult to pronounce for white people, he's like, yeah, just call me JD. So the guy goes by
Yeah,
JD.
like I work with a guy named Gerardo, and even for me, I grew up here speaking Spanish, and Gerardo is a confusing word for me, for my tongue to want to say. So we call him Jerry because it's just an easier way to say it. Now but the difference is like, so that for you guys, there's a distinction between like colored and African, right?
Yeah.
Which
yeah, we've
is
got,
in the United States,
is it
it's
racist
basically
to call someone
synonymous.
colored there? Is it racist to say someone's colored in the US?
Yes, in some communities. In a lot of communities, yes.
I don't get that. Here when we call, I'm just decanting my water into a smaller bottle. Here when we call someone colored, it means either both their parents were colored or their mom was black and their dad was white or vice versa. My English family calls them
It's a descriptor,
half-races,
not a
which I
racial
find
thing.
so much more offensive.
I'm sorry? I was
No,
talking
it's,
over you. I'm
it's
sorry about that.
no, in England they're like called half breeds or something, which I find a lot more offensive. But it's literally just they're colored. They're a mix of white and black. People. They're colored.
Sure, you know, it's
It's a
that
race.
old shit. I know you might be too young for Cher. You might be too young for Cher, but there's that half breed. That's all I ever heard.
Mhm.
Half breed. Because she's half Native American. I don't know if you knew that. Fuck you guys. I'm hilarious. That deserves more of a laugh from at least one of you. All right. So,
First of
Ariela,
all,
so
you're old, so I don't know. You're old. I don't know your
I am.
stuff. And Frank over there is not going to give you the time of day with your humor. I can tell already.
No, we don't let Frank talk on the podcast. He's there just as cannon fodder.
Oh,
He's just something for me to volley a couple shots at.
I'm just here to look fat.
He's losing weight though.
Mood.
Huh?
Mood.
Yeah.
Mood?
Mood.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so 19. You're adorable. Okay. Yeah, no. I'm in my 30s. What, did she flip me off?
Yes.
She flipped me off. I wasn't looking at the camera.
I'll do it again.
Hey, fuck you, little girl.
Suck my
fuck
dick.
you, little girl.
Suck my dick.
You're of age. I could still say that. Suck it. Pull it out. Whip it out. Where's it at? Let me see it. Didn't think so.
No.
Oh shit! I saw that. She was turning around looking for something, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you just listening to the podcast,
I was gonna make a pussy joke and get my cat, but then he's just gonna get annoyed at me, so I figured I'd leave him be.
Oh, that's a cheap joke anyway. That wouldn't fly. You gotta try harder.
Your mom's a cheap woman, so we're used to that kind of stuff, here, aren't we?
Wow, I just got a mom joke from South Africa. Good for you.
Sorry.
Those mama jokes. It must be a black thing.
No,
Oh
no. That's
me.
what you do if you want to
Tell
get
me.
the shit kicked out of you. So you make a joke about a black person's mother here. Yo.
Yeah. No, that's how the world works. That's not just there.
No.
All right.
No.
So listen, who the hell are you? So real quick, you kind of touched on it earlier that we paid you money for some services.
Yeah,
As most older men. Oh, you said it, not me. It's a lot harder over the internet though, especially when you blur out your feet. Oh, so I have to pay to get that coloring removed from your feet so I can actually see your toes?
Oh my gosh, shut up. Shut up. That's just a preemptive.
Right. No, this is a conversation we're having now. So just so you guys know, I've been going back and forth with Ariela this week for the podcast, and she's got COVID. So first off, I hit her up because I was following another page that said, hey, hit up my friend. She does great artwork. And we happen to need a new logo. So I hit her up, got a new logo, found out she has COVID. And so she's in quarantine for these last 2 weeks. And I ended up just checking in every once in a while. She's like, oh yeah, here's my cat. My cat just laid on me. And she sends me, so the cat's laying on her leg, right? But her feet are completely colored out. I was like, that's a nice touch. I know why you did that, but that's fucking hilarious. So now she thinks apparently that I have a foot fetish because she drew attention to her own feet in a photo that I didn't even request.
I didn't draw attention to them. I drew over them. And now we were talking before
Oh,
this, and you were
okay.
like, "Yeah, you drew out your foot." So it's a funny conversation because foot fetish and whatever. And I was like, "Okay, you're weird. You have a foot fetish. This is uncomfortable."
You literally blurred out your feet preemptively.
Yes,
And again, I
because of
did not
people
request
like
this picture of
you.
I didn't request the picture at all. Not of your cat, not of your feet, not of your legs, nothing. And I still got it. So this is more on you than me.
Yeah,
This is
well,
like a girl
I showed
walking
you my
down.
cat.
No,
I
this
showed
is
you my
like a
cat
girl
because he
walking
deserves
down
love.
up. Okay, you have a pretty kitty. We get it. She almost spit up her water there.
At least I'm 19, so that's allowed.
Oh yes, no, I thought about this conversation a lot before we started recording. I'm like, she's 19, she'll suck it up, or she'll just kick us off, and we'll just have an even funnier episode because we got left at the altar, so to speak. So I want to know something. Are you racist?
Yeah.
Yes.
What the fuck? No. No.
You
Not in
totally
my
said you.
books, at the very least.
What? What's that?
Not in my books.
Not in your books. Okay, I just have to ask because there is. Now we're gonna get into a little bit of the ugliness of South Africa.
Oh,
Just for 2
gosh, yeah,
seconds.
let's go. I knew this shit was coming. Let's go.
Oh no! It's really just the one thing. I mean, there's a list that I've got here if I wanted to keep it going, but I just want to know. So how do you feel about this apartheid shit, man?
Okay.
Is it gone? Is it there? So it's the only dirty question I'm gonna ask you today.
Just give me a second to think about this because it's a very loaded question.
Oh yeah, no, I'm asking a 19-year-old as if it matters. It's
You're asking a 19-year-old who lives on the coast. I don't even live with the people of my own culture. I don't like them. They're gross. But anyway.
What is your own culture?
Oh, I'm Afrikaans.
Well, explain that. I have no idea what the fuck that all means. You live on the coast and you're not of your own culture. What do those two things mean alone?
Afrikaans, I don't know if you've heard of Afrikaans. It's still a fairly new language. Afrikaans basically started when the Dutch settlers came to Cape Point, which is now Cape Town, and brought slavery in. Then, because the slaves were an amalgamation of different cultures and countries in Africa, all their languages combined with Dutch to form a slave language that was commonly spoken between masters and servants, which is now known as Afrikaans. And it's a very difficult culture to explain, but it is the government, the Afrikaans government, were the ones that started apartheid. So it's a very racist, racially charged culture if you look at the traditional aspects of it. And my family
for those who've never. Well, for those who don't know what apartheid is, it's racial segregation, right? Based on not just race but class as well.
Yeah, apartheid was a very, very bad part of our history that still affects a lot of people today, especially in the lower income areas like the townships or people who focus on shebeens and areas like that, where Black people, Indian, colored people, and Afrikaans people were all separated, couldn't go to the same schools, couldn't drink from the same fountains, couldn't use the same beaches, nothing like that. It was so... Couldn't
intermarry?
Colors. My grandpa told my dad when, because my whole family is Afrikaans, we don't sound what we are, but when my dad was about my age, my grandpa actually told him if he married an English woman, he would get written out of the will. So it was a very, very bad time for our country where there was a lot of hatred based off something as simple as how you were born. And to answer your question, apartheid does still affect a lot of people today, not because it's still in action, but because over the past 26 years, in my experience, but I haven't been alive for most of them, so in my experience, the government hasn't gone and put into place the larger reparations that they need to help the country, especially the lower income, undereducated areas of the country, move on towards a better future out of this segregation and hatred. We're still stuck in a lot of our old ways because of that bullshit.
Sure. I mean, we're what, over 100 years removed from slavery here, and you know, the LA riots and shit of the night of shit
92.
92, right? That I
Yeah.
mean, it's over 100 years later, slavery's ended, and we're still fucking dealing with the same shit. Now we have BLM rallies everywhere because there is still that impact of the institutionalized racism.
I'm
We're not getting into that.
not
I
going
know.
to say no, because I have very, very strong opinions about a lot of things in America at the moment that I will be
Oh, well, that's-
removing myself from.
Well, that's great. Do you want to compare Africa to America?
Yeah, sure, why not? Both are shitholes in one way or another.
Yeah, well, that we've heard this term, right? Shithole countries, but name one that isn't. Just because one has more money than the other, we're all shitholes. Just like everybody's a fucking shithead.
Sweden.
Starting with
I mean,
Frank.
Sweden's a pretty good country, so is Iceland. If we're looking at
Oh, yeah.
their
You know why?
socioeconomic
You know why?
progression, because they've
No
taken on a
persons of color.
socialist government.
No people of color
No!
there. So of course it's great.
You can't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are there people of color there?
Probably, I don't know. I've never been to Sweden.
Exactly. So you're talking out of your ass just like everybody else. Hey,
Don't say
this is
that.
called a completely inappropriate podcast. If you're not leaning into it, you're backing into it.
Okay,
I don't know. It doesn't make.
I'm gonna say what I
Are
said
we-
earlier.
Did we lose
suck
her?
my dick.
Is she gone? Suck it. You're the one sucking on a water bottle.
Yeah, true, because I'm hydrated. I'm a queen. What am I talking
Oh,
about?
you're So how are you enjoying COVID? How is COVID affecting South Africa? Shit, I guess that's an interesting question to ask of.
Honestly, our first wave wasn't that bad. It was mainly places like the Western Cape and Gauteng. I would say that's like Arizona and California
Texas.
for us. It's like those two like big things that those were like hot spots.
Why did you go with Arizona? Hold on.
Because
Why do you-
Arizona's a hot spot for COVID, and also my ex lives there, so I did a lot of research about it earlier this year. So.
Well, we have we have a friend of the podcast who's extremely anti-masker and all this shit, and she's from Arizona, and she claims that they're full of shit, and that everything you see on, and she goes to every rally she can go to for both sides just because she likes to. She's a freelance reporter essentially. Shout out to Vegan Patriot if you want to follow her podcast or Instagram account. She's pretty good about playing both sides. She's a little one-sided, but I guess everybody has their fucking leaning.
Everybody has their bias.
But as a person from Arizona in particular, I just thought it was funny that you brought up Arizona and equated it to California, but it's due to the hotspot nature. Of it.
They're well known. Everyone like knows about California, obviously, and everyone like kind of knows about Arizona. Like they're popular places. Like most people will know about them, and they're also hotspots for this virus. That's why I compared them to the two I mentioned, because they're popular and they're hotspots. They're like super spreader areas.
You know what? Just to segue real quick, there is a similarity between California and South Africa right now, and the problem being the energy crisis. California is going through this whole thing where they're trying to convert into more what's it called? Eco-friendly energy. So they're actually having rolling blackouts on a consistent basis, and I know that's a problem for Africa in general, right?
No, I don't know
outage.
about the rest. I don't know about the rest of the continent, but oh boy, do I love load shedding. Oh boy. Oh, I love it so much.
What's that?
So
Load shedding?
Load shedding. So if I do, I should have warned you. We're in stage 2 right now, which means we do 5 hours of load shedding a day, broken up into 2 parts. So if I do just suddenly vanish and don't come back on call for any reason, that's why. That's why.
So load sharing, it's so just you're allotted a certain amount of power to your city, your state,
No,
your country. What
no.
is it?
So our country has one provider for electricity throughout the whole country. We have one
Just
provider,
one. Wow, that's crazy.
ESCOM, and they sometimes don't have enough coal to power the whole country, even though we export electricity to Namibia, and they don't get load shedding. But anyways, so
Oh, that's
the
fucked up.
government
Yeah, because
the
it's
government
only
will
like
go, okay,
3/5.
the government will say, okay, we want to keep selling this country electricity. So you guys are going to lose power for 2.5 hours a day, twice a day for the next year. Or sometimes it'll be for 3 hours, 4 times a day. Or, sometimes we'll go 6 days without power. It happens. It's fun. I love it.
It's fun.
I hate this.
The
country so much.
vitriol.
I want to.
Do you? Have you ever left? Have you ever been outside of South Africa?
I've been to Lesotho and I've been to Mozambique, but I've never left the continent. No.
If you could, where would you go? Texas?
New Zealand? No.
Oh,
Texas.
that's
Oh,
a damn good one.
gosh, no.
I'm curious to know
Yeah,
what you
either New
think
Zealand
Texas
or
is.
Europe.
Sorry?
I know what Texas is. Actually, one of my friends that
Oh,
left
you
the
know.
country
Hold on.
moved to Texas. No, I'm not
Are
talking.
you
I'm
saying
not
I'm just
talking
saying.
about. I'm not talking about Texas like cowboys, rattlesnakes, and racism. I'm talking about Texas, like the lived experience of a South African girl that went over there. One of my friends, she went over there last year. So I know
Okay.
stories about Texas.
You know,
not America.
you have an account of it. So what was the account you were given?
Texas
What
is
kind of influence?
surprisingly less conservative than you would think. In certain
Well, where in
areas.
Texas was she at?
Where in Texas was she? Bet it was Austin,
No, yeah.
San
Actually,
Antonio, Dallas.
she was in Austin. She didn't. She wasn't in Dallas, and then she's somewhere like an hour or two away from Austin at the moment in some small town. I don't recall.
San Marcos.
I
Rock.
do not know.
Round Rock. Yeah. It's such a big. I mean, it's not as big as fucking Africa. I don't know what's bigger, South Africa or Texas? Just South Africa, not obviously
Well,
not the
South
continent.
Africa goes sideways and Texas goes long ways.
Yeah, I think it's about the
So-
size of South America, isn't it?
South America.
Yes. Oh, that was an interesting thing I looked up. Fucking,
Yeah.
you guys are going about 2 inches away from South America every year. Like the landmass
Why?
of South Africa is literally it's the continental drift. It's just physically separating itself.
Oh, great.
Like it's measurable.
Another
cool?
thing I hate.
It's just fucking. It's just cool geography. That's it. Why? Wait, it's nothing to hate. It's just a fact. It's
I failed geography. Okay, so South Africa is 1.22 million kilometers squared. So 1.22, and then Texas is.
Hey, we're Americans. We don't use that kilometer bullshit.
We made
Oof.
do. Oh, but
So
gosh,
okay, on the
prices
same
are-
vein,
Things shut up.
how much is a pack of cigarettes? Well, that's going to be hard to say because y'all's currency is like, I think 17-1 to the USD. So I
No,
don't know.
it's like 14.5-1. The dollar's dropping, y'all. I don't know what's happening, but it's making me worried because I earn in dollars and I'm getting less money now that it's dropping. I'm getting scared.
What's minimum wage? What's minimum wage in dollars?
Like $1.20.
Ah, oh, no.
I don't
Dude,
know.
I wouldn't
it's
wipe my ass with $1.20.
29.76.
Fuck.
I don't know.
Oh my
it's
God.
like €1 an hour.
I wonder what the cost of living is. That's craziness. That's
Yeah, this
craziness.
country
And I
shit.
complain because I'm not even at 15 an hour yet.
Ooh,
We're all
ouch.
broke. It's okay. Frank's homeless. I mean jobless.
Yeah,
Soon,
both
soon to be homeless.
technically.
How are your parents not kicked you out yet?
Because I'm useful, believe it or not.
So, Frank, what do you think of this whole conversation? Any tidbits of questions or comment you have?
Not really. Like,
Well, thanks for that. All right, so
Yeah,
this
it's
is what
one
happens every
dollar
time we try and
forty.
give Frank
It's $1.40 an hour.
Wow, that's rough.
Yeah, that is kind of rough.
That's rough.
Especially
So
considering
if
the
you
loaf
wanted to
of
get an
bread is
apartment, what would an apartment run you if you were to move out?
Oh, I literally I was working last year and I was still earning a salary then because I was a cashier, I wasn't a waitress. And I was actually looking, and the cheapest, we don't really have apartments here because it's a small ass little town. Um, but the cheapest place I could find here was $4 grand a month. It was 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, small kitchen. Not dollars, rands.
Not dollars, obviously, yeah.
And that was, it had, I think utilities were included, but then it didn't include transport, Wi-Fi, food,
Right, so you're
clothes,
still looking
anything
at
like that.
you're still looking at around $500 a month then, and that's with a minimum wage of a
That
dollar
was
something. You can't do it.
my salary last year was I was earning $4 grand a month. So just my salary would have got me a 1 bedroom, 1 kitchen, 1 bathroom apartment.
Yeah, so I guess
So
the cost of living, it does equal out as far as South Africa to South
the
Texas anyway.
cheapest living the cheapest living spot here, that one I just mentioned, is $270 a month without food, without transport, without all of that.
That's insane. So I'll tell you what. Why don't you let's just change things up and be a little less boring than the finances of our fucking living situations. What do you do for
Cruise.
fun? I mean, when you're not locked down in COVID times, what do you do in South Africa? What's the name of your town, by the way?
In South Africa. Oh, my town. It's Pennington.
Pennington. Oh, how delightful. That is such a delightful name.
So
That's
delightful,
that's
full of
Nick.
old retired racists. I love it.
Hey, that's all of us. That's all of us. My
So,
grandparents are from Spain. Half of my culture raped the other half of my culture, just the same as yours, probably. No? Are you not aware that the Spanish came here and fucked all the Mexicans with or without their permission and had us? That's me.
um,
Hi.
hi, all. I I just like the fun part of history, like the fact that the only reason syphilis is a human STD is because Christopher Columbus had sex with an alpaca, because the syphilis strain wasn't in Europe at the time when Columbus discovered America, but it wasn't found in the American people either. It was only found in llamas. So Columbus fucked a llama and gave us syphilis. That's,
Could have been a
that's what I
koala.
like about history. That's what I like about history. I don't want to know about the rape.
It's
Sad.
the best parts of history.
It's
Hey, it
sad.
happens. It happens.
I know, but
Sad.
it's sad.
What makes it? It's the human experience. You could take it or leave it, but you kind of have to just deal with it.
Yeah, but I can deal with it without with pretending it doesn't exist.
Okay, so you just want to pretend these things never happened and never have anything to learn from growing up. So are you one of these people that wants to take down all the statues and
I
remove
don't
all
No, I
historical
don't
notes
think
of
the
racism?
statues should be taken down, but I think their reason for being up should be changed. Like the statue shouldn't be up to celebrate
Add a
this
plaque.
person. The statue should be up to celebrate the history or whatever was built as a result of what happened from this person. Like we shouldn't celebrate slave owners, we should celebrate the culture that came into place because of the freedom from the slavery that was there. So things like that. I think we can still
Sure.
have
Is there
the statues up. I just don't think we need to have it with so many racists. I don't like racists.
so what is that like? Shit, man. We were supposed to talk about much more entertaining shit than this.
Okay, then.
I feel so like this got so dark. Why is this so dark? Frank, help us out. Be
That's
useful.
the route you wanted to fucking take.
You're the one who said that you're useful to your parents. Could be you
To
be
my
useful on this
Frank,
podcast for
Wait,
once,
I
please?
have a
I'm
question for
useful.
Frank. I have a question for Frank.
Okay.
Frank, if you could get reincarnated, would you rather be a dolphin or an elephant?
Okay, that requires a little explaining. The other day I was bored at work. Work was just dead, and I was like, I need to check in with my new South African friend. She's got COVID. She needs something to entertain herself. So I texted her, if you could be a dolphin or an elephant reincarnated, which would you choose? Because I was thinking about it. I was like, I think I'd go elephant, but I want to hear what you would say.
Well, if I were an elephant, I'd be hunted for my fucking tusks. If I
No,
were
no,
a
no. Okay,
dolphin,
hold on. That was actually part of the the circumstances was that you never have to deal with humans.
and then if I were a dolphin, I'd be gay. At least the
Dolphins
fucking-
are just inherently gay. Is that what you're deciding?
yeah. And I'm like,
mean,
Well, they do rape each other, right? But
Yeah.
is that a gay thing or is it a dominance thing like it is for dogs?
I thought it was a playful thing, because dolphins are so
They're
playful.
just getting it on,
They're
right?
just like, hey,
just enjoying
yeah,
life.
like how us at work, guys, we
Well,
always play grab ass.
well, what if they're pansexual? Why do they have to be homosexual?
Well,
What if they'd
that's-
fuck
Yeah,
if
Frank.
they go fucking an enemy?
That's what I was getting at. I'm like,
Which,
unless
by the way, we've been trying to nail down my sexual preferences on this podcast for like the last year, and I've said that I'm
cool, yay.
bi-loving, not bisexual, but I'm pretty sure I am pan-loving and pansexual because I would fuck a cat.
would you fuck a robot?
I would fuck the shit out of a robot.
Okay,
But only if
you're
it had a
pan.
personality and AI. Like I wouldn't want a dead, like I'm not a necrophiliac, so like fucking a robot or like one of those real dolls, that is disgusting to me. But not, I mean, your kink is your kink, right? I respect all kinks. Foot fetishes as well.
Unless it's
But-
foot fetishes. Unless it's foot fetishes, Frank.
No,
Frank, help
it all
me.
deserves
Foot fetishes are gross.
No, you know
Oh,
what,
foot
though?
fetishes
'Cause-
are weird.
No, my wife has beautiful
Thank you,
fucking
Frank.
feet, and I would totally fuck her feet. It just doesn't feel as good. But they're beautiful. I just love the human body, I think. Look at you.
Have you
Uh-huh.
ever
Beautiful
looked
thing.
into why foot
Here.
fetishes exist? Because I have.
Yeah,
I
it's
have.
something to do with
I had this
the
conversation with
brain.
my dad. No, I had
Well,
this conversation with my dad. I really hated it. It's because apparently to some people feet look like penises.
What?
Okay, I could tell you a more logical reason why we might have foot fetishes in life.
Okay, that was what Sigmund Freud said, and to be fair, no one respects Sigmund Freud.
Sigmund
so,
Freud
like,
said a lot of shit. Sigmund Freud said that every man wanted to fuck his mother at some point. Sigmund Freud had some problems with his fucking beliefs.
Sigmund Freud had a little bit of an issue, didn't he? It's a mental illness, isn't
A,
it?
a little
No,
bit.
he was-
Yeah.
A little bit. He was
Oh,
a crack whore before his time.
Weren't we all? So, there's one more here before we end this conversation because I think we're
Yeah, we're getting there.
I don't know how long we've been recording for. Fucking
We've been recording.
Zoom apparently doesn't give me a time.
Just under an hour.
Oh yeah, we're getting there. We're getting close.
Whatever, we'll give it some more time. I want to know, what have your drug experience in life been like?
Prescription.
All prescription?
Yes.
What about how prevalent is weed?
Oh, incredibly.
Marijuana?
Incredibly.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's the potency level like in Africa? How much do you smoke?
No, I don't. But I don't
Have you ever?
know.
Never. You've
Never.
never taken a puff?
I've never
That is
taken,
so
um,
odd here in Texas.
I've never taken a
You're
puff.
such a
I've never
sweetheart.
done anything. I've been drunk once, and that was because I drank this cheap ass vodka that I bought to make my friend feel better, and I'm a lightweight, and that shit just hits me hard. So that was literally the
Yeah,
only reason.
clear liquors
I've
are
been
evil.
drunk once, and I've never done drugs. So, but you
So
get
what's
some
the reason for that?
strong shit here. Nah, just not for me. It's just not.
You
for
can't
me.
say it's strong shit if you've never done it.
my people in my life do it. So I've got a few
Hmm.
friends who do it, not me. No, but
Call them
you
out.
get
Let the world know who they are. By name, what's their serial number, what's their social, all that shit.
serial
Anyway,
number.
so this is This has been a lot of fun. Frank, do you have any questions here? I've got some more questions, but I'm gonna leave them for the next little recording we do here.
Oh, okay.
Anything you want to bring up? God
Uh,
damn it! Just say one interesting thing this podcast.
one interesting thing. This
Thank you.
podcast.
So this has been the Completely Inappropriate Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I want to remind you can find us at completelyinappropriatepodcast@gmail.com. Don't say poor Frank. He does this to himself every fucking time.
No, poor Frank, you're bullying him. Frank, buddy, I'm on your side.
You are you've fallen into the web. You have fallen into his trap. Yeah, you know,
No, I
have you ever
haven't.
heard of the term sit and spin? Because you keep flicking that finger up, and that's all I gotta say is sit and spin, all right? You gotta relax with that thing.
I
It's
know.
gonna snap off one of these days. God. This is
I know.
South African culture for you. This is South Africa's representation for the world. What a rude, crass.
You're welcome, guys.
Oh, I can't.
You're welcome.
and-
It's
You know
better
what?
than our
You need to
last
smoke a
phase of
joint.
the flow.
You need to smoke a joint. You
No, I
gotta
don't.
relax.
I don't.
No, you don't.
No, I
No,
don't.
you seriously. This has been a lot of fun.
It
I
has.
was
I've
actually
never done this.
this is one of the first recordings where I was like actually excited sitting down beforehand because I knew we would actually have things to talk about.
We would, because
a lot of
you
the
kept
times-
telling me, no, we can't talk about this when we were chatting on Instagram. We can't talk about this. We got to save it for Saturday.
Yes, and we have a whole other recording to do. So get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's not over. We'll see you again
Not by a long
Wednesday,
shot.
and not by a long shot. No. Oh wait, is this our New Year's episode? Is the next one going to be our New Year's episode?
Sure.
We'll figure that out in the interim. All right, so this has been the Completely Inappropriate Podcast, everybody. Remember, you can find us at completelyinappropriatepodcast@gmail.com with any comments, questions, concerns. Find us at CI Podcast on Twitter. No, CI Podcast on Instagram. Completely in app with 1P on Twitter. BitChute, YouTube, wherever you find us, you found us. Good job. Congratulations. You get a cookie. Leave us a 5-star review. Leave us all the most delicious, beautiful, loving comments that you could think of. And remember what we always fucking tell you. Before we tell them what we always tell them. Ariella, do you have any final words of wisdom you would like to share with the people? A sign-off phrase.
Follow me on Instagram and give me money. I'm poor. That's all I can think of.
Well, where can they find? What do you go as under Instagram? What's your handle?
My business handle is
I don't
Arena Arts, which I'm going to trust Tony to put up on screen for me, because he
won't.
He loves me. He will.
I do.
Thank
I
you.
do. I love the world. You're not. You're not
that's
special.
so gay.
All right. So, Frank, what do we tell the lovely listeners?
Be excellent to each other.
Find your motherfucking happy. Try to be better today than you were yesterday. That's all we got. Much love to you people. Become